Next, I'm going to show you how to view your results on a Google form. So here's my Google form. This was a sample quiz that I created. And let's say that you're a teacher and you want to see what the students were saying or how they answered your Google form. As usual, Google usually gives you a couple of different places to go to do the same thing. But I think probably the best spot to go would be at the very top of your page, and where it says responses. Notice this little number next to it. This is how many responses this form currently has. So right now, I have 6 responses on this form. I'm going to go ahead and click on the responses button. And let's say I want to get like a really general overview of what students answered or what people answered on this form. I'm going to go ahead and use this first tool. It says Summary of Responses, and it's just a really general overview of what people responded. I'm going to go ahead and click on Summary of Responses. Notice that it opened up a brand new tab, and if I ever wanted to get back to my other form, I can just click on the next tab. Alright, so it just shows me the basics. So I have 6 responses so far. It'll give me the first names and the last names of the people that answered it. It'll give me the responses. So this was a free response question, so it just lists those. It doesn't give me any statistical analysis like this one down here. This next question was a type of multiple choice. So it gave me a breakdown. 66% of my class or whatever said that when you mix red and green together, you get yellow. 33% said that you get black. And then for this last question down here, it just gives us a breakdown. So 4 people answered this, 2 people answered this option, and 2 people answered this option. It also gives you the percentages at the side. And then last, this tells you how many people have taken it. So I have 4 responses on the 23rd, and then down here I also have 2 responses for the 22nd. So this is a really cool tool to use just to get a really general overview of the form that you gave. Alright, so I closed out of that tab, and now I want to see the individual responses from my form. I'm going to go back up to that button that says Responses, and then I'm going to click on the button that says View Responses. Notice this is the same button as View Responses here. So a really quick shortcut is just to click on View Responses. And it opens up a new tab. So, for each Google form that you have, you also have a corresponding Google Sheet, which is like an Excel spreadsheet. And in your Google Sheet, on the top row, it has the different questions. So the timestamp wasn't on there, but it automatically collects that information, which is nice. Because you can tell, okay, I had one person take it on the 22nd at 9:54 a.m. I also had other people take it on the 23rd at 12:17 p.m. It gives you the username, so if you're giving this to your students, this is going to be really important information if you want to email students back like a score or feedback. And then all these other fields, these are the questions that you ask. So the first name, the last name, the 2 plus 2, the color question, and then the other math question. So here you can see, okay, well, student 2 answered 4 for this one, so they got that one right. You can also see other individual responses. Something else that's not needed, but it's a cool tool to use if you want, is you can do this thing called conditional formatting. And it's a really, if someone got a question correct, if you're using it for assessment at least. So you can click on conditional formatting, and then you can click on Format Cells if text contains, or actually I think you would choose text is exactly, if it's a one answer type of thing. Okay, the value or the formula. So I know that my correct answer is 4, and then you can have it be a certain color. So notice that after I did that, I'm going to click Done. And for that question, all the correct answers that were 4 have highlighted in green. So that's just a really, it's an extra tool. You don't really need it necessarily, but just to know that that's there if you like that sort of thing. All right, to get back to your original form, you can go up and close the tab, or just click over. And then the very last thing that I want to show you is a really cool feature, and it's under the Response tab again. And it's this thing called Accepting Responses. So if you click on this button, basically what it does is it closes the form so that whoever has a link to the form can't take the form. It basically like closes it off and on, which prevents, like if you're using this for a test, it prevents a student from taking it when you don't want them to take it. So I'm going to go ahead and click Accepting Responses, and notice this little dialog box popped up. It says, the form Basics Part 2 sample quiz is no longer accepting responses. So to show you what that looks like, if I click on View Live Form, this is what pops up. It's no longer accepting responses. Try contacting the owner of the form if you think this is a mistake. And then if you're the editor, you can always open the form back up by clicking this link. So let's say, okay, my form was closed, but now I want it open again. You can do the same thing. You go up to Responses, and then click on Not Accepting Responses. And then now you've opened up your form again to have people use it. So if you go back to View Live Form, you'll notice that the form is all there, ready to go.